ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Improv Gaming, where I'm joined by... Are you done? Are you done? He's not done. He's not done. I'm joined by one of my greatest friends, the host with the most, Mr. I'm Wondering himself, without or sans fedora cap. It's Mr. Pete Anderson.
Hey guys, what's going on today?
You're not going to whisper this entire episode, are you?
I will not be whispering this entire episode.
You're still whispering on this episode.
I will not be whispering this.
How are you today, sir?
I'm good. Almost done with Danganronpa. Like I said on Tuesday's episode, I'm at chapter 6, which is the final.
Okay.
So very interesting where it's taken me and everything going on. Very much more. I like the people more in Danganronpa 2 than the first one, but I like how the first one went, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like, when the characters die in the... Spoiler, they die. In Danganronpa 2, you know, it's heartfelt because I'm like, oh, I really do like these characters. And, like, the punishments are cool. But in the first one, I was just like, this story I just enjoyed more. This is a little bit, like, weird. It's definitely, after I finish this game, it's going to be nice to take a break from the Vita and just, you know, go into my Gears of War. Why are you laughing?
You know I'm having a hard time with this new, like,
I'm just
voice of yours.
I'm just very soft-spoken. It's very late for us right now. It's the latest we've ever recorded. If you check on your phone, I'm not going to show you a text message, but it's 10 o'clock right now. It's insane. It's 10 o'clock and we're recording.
It's 10 o'clock and we're recording.
But if you didn't know, I'm joined with my Puerto Rican...
Oh, God, here we go with this shit again.
princess.
Princess? Really? Okay.
I would say Prince Charming, but I think they figured we were gay in on Tuesday's episode when you said we were a couple.
Yeah, a duo. We're a duo, not a couple. A couple of guys.
Talking about video games.
At 10 o'clock at night.
On a Tuesday. Why else would you do that? He only has the best ponytail in the business.
It's fabulous.
Mr. Nicholas De Jesus.
How's it going tonight, ladies and gentlemen? And today's topic is...
Your energy's very high.
Today's topic is VR worth it?
It's a hard question.
Why is it a hard question?
Because I don't know at the moment. I keep going into my local GameStop usually.
Okay.
And I see the posters for VR. I know there's going to be 18 to 20 playable demos. The demos look amazing. I have not personally tried VR. I want to. And I think when I try VR, I will be a believer. You know, I already had the PlayStation camera. Really, all I need is the Move controllers, which not going to cost me that much. And like the headset, which will cost me, of course, the $400 price tag. But it's interesting because I'm like, is this something I want to be an early adopter of? Is it going to be something like the Move, where if it doesn't have the support, Sony's going to just drop it and nothing's going to happen? But Sony's put so much money into this device that I don't see that happening. But it's also something where, do I want to be the scapegoat and go right in the beginning and see all these games? Even though I hear they're amazing demos and experiences, and I'm very curious to play that Batman game where you're Batman, you know, and Resident Evil 7. Like, I'm curious with all this stuff, but I was like, is it something where it's going to be like my Guitar Hero or my Rock Band or something to that effect?
Where it just sits in the corner?
Yeah,
collecting dust?
It's a peripheral. Similar to my Wii U. I love my Wii U, but I played my Wii U for exclusives. I played for the Mario, the Zeldas, and all that.
Then that's probably what... This was probably going to be... I feel, a secondary console where there's going to be exclusives that come out for this VR headset.
Which you'll end up getting.
And which you'll end up getting to play it on the VR headset. But, I mean, I'm on the fence as well. And the reason I'm on the fence is because I don't want to experience VR by myself. I would like to take somebody on that journey with me or experience it with somebody, which essentially means that I'd have to drop $800 to get 2 headsets. And the question is whether or not those headsets will talk to each other, right? Like they haven't really explained that. Like this is a very personal experience, and they've made it very clear that this is a personal experience. But where's the multiplayer aspect to this game? Rigs, for instance,
Yes.
is a very big title that I'm very excited to get my hands on and to
looks
play.
very cool.
And I could play that off of VR. I don't need VR to play that. But if you, me, Jeremy, and the dopest were in a room and we all had a PlayStation VR headset, could we all play Rigs on the same console? I doubt that. I doubt that highly.
I do too.
Because
I could see maybe 2 people. I could see like you and me playing
again,
it, but I can't
there's a
see
lot
the
of
4.
video output being put out, right? Because your screen's going so that then other people can see what's going on your television screen, and then 2 screens are going simultaneously in your eyes. So having 9 screens going at once on a visual output,
Might be too much.
8 of which are putting out completely different image. Well, all 9 of them are putting out completely different images. That's a lot of wear and tear on a machine. The question is whether or not it can do it or not. I don't see it being able to do it. But there's that weird space where like, well, is it really even intended for that, right? Because the idea of a multiplayer is to like kind of bullshit with your friends and knock into them. Haha, I gotcha. But you can't. That like nothing about the PlayStation VR is designed for you to be able to smack your friend in real life.
Yeah, you won't be able to find him.
You won't be able to find him. Number one. Number two, they say stay the fuck away from anything that's close to you.
That's why it's funny. I saw a video on YouTube where this gentleman was on the VR headset, and you see that there was a desk in the VR world. And he actually legit thought it was a desk, so he dropped something, and like not in VR, but in his state, he dropped something, and he goes to put his hand on the desk and doesn't realize that the desk is not actually there, and just falls on his face.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Now that's interesting.
So it's cool because it immerses you into this world that you don't expect, and I think I understand your multiplayer aspect of it, but I think also VR is going to be that solo experience where it's something where if I get in, I go, hey, dopest, you got to come over. Nick, Jeremy, you got to come over and experience this. And through experiencing, you might be like, you know what? I want to experience this with my girlfriend. You know, let me go get a VR headset and experience it my way and then show her. And then it's like these cool different ways where I think it can engage more people into gaming. You know, I think it's something completely different that's going to be a big thing. It's going to be a slow burn. I don't see VR selling millions of copies this
millions
fall.
of consoles this fall.
Yeah.
No, I don't see that either.
But
I think it's going to be a very
it-
slow burn.
But I see in next year you have similar to a console. Look at like the launch of the PS4, you know, Xbox One. You had like Knack and Shadowfall, which Shadowfall was not a bad game. Knack was alright, you know.
Yeah, Knack
but you
is.
had these games, and it took usually a console like a year to really find its niche, and then you get something like Second Son, or you get Uncharted, you get the Until Dawn, these big games, you know, and Halo and Rise of the Tomb Raider for Xbox. You have these big games where you're like, oh, this is why I invested so much money into this console, you know. I'm so excited. If you see last week's episode here on youtube.com/ImprovGaming, you see how excited I am for Gears of War, and I can't wait to play that. And my Xbox has been sitting there for a couple years, but I haven't had a really big game to be like getting so behind. And you see how I am right now with Gears of War, and it's amazing that this happened. So I feel like VR, if you take it in now, you're one of the early adopters, but I feel like you'll have your own experience to engage other people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get you. I think the takeaway from this, if I may,
May away.
Mayway. It's a Mayway.
It's a Mayway.
It's a Mayway. I think the
A farmer's acre.
The farmer's acre, a Mayway. Let me jaywalk right into this. I think the takeaway from this is being that you really do enjoy those one-on-one experiences that you get from narrative gameplay.
Yeah, of course.
VR is going to scream to you. I would say speak, but you're speaking, so it's going to scream to you. You know, I think it's going to, like, it's really going to entice you. But whereas I'm the type of person that really just wants, like, an exciting gameplay. Something that's going to, like, make me excited
Robinson.
for yeah, no, that's still, like, who knows what that really is. That could be a fucking walker. That could be a walking
that could
simulator.
sell you.
It could, but I want, like, genuinely, like, just exciting gameplay, whether it's Quantum Break or Recore, which is something that's, like, just a little bit different or different enough for me to be excited about it. For somebody like me, I don't know until they get those exciting titles that are just fun-loving, and I don't know how you can do that without the multiplayer aspect of fun-loving. Like, Mario Party wouldn't exist if you only had to play it online.
Yeah.
You know, or Smash Brothers wouldn't work well if the only
Think
time.
of the original GoldenEye.
Yeah,
64.
like that worked well because of the multiplayer. You know, it was fun. The game was fun. The campaign was fun, but the multiplayer really sold it. Where you could plug in 4 controllers and play them all with your friends. I feel like for the gamer that's a lot like me, where we're kind of itching, and we've been itching for a very long time for a very exciting gameplay that's gonna reinvigorate our love for video games. Because I do love video games.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't, but it's like a crippling failing marriage at the moment. So, but I feel like if you're looking for that, don't go to VR. Look for basic titles. I think indie is where you need to be.
Yeah.
Because indies are doing games that are fun.
5 years ago, it was blasphemy to mention an indie, let alone it being Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And then, like, something like Journey comes out and people blown away and giving Game of the Year to it.
Yeah.
Now I see the same thing coming with PlayStation VR. I don't see us ever letting go of a controller. I always think we'll have a controller in our hands that will never go. And we'll always have those Witchers, Final Fantasy, these big open world games. But I also feel like we'll have these great little experiences with the VR. And with the multiplayer, what also I thought about was, say you're in a room with your buddies, you, me, Jeremy, all that, like, and then it's something where I experience something, and then I go, all right, Nick, well, you got to put on this headset and experience it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then it's something
But
where...
that's like trading controllers on a single player game.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it still gets the effect, not to the extent. I think maybe in a year or so, VR might...
I think,
VR
I think
2.0...
I think a new console is the only thing that's going to do it. Completely new console. I'm not talking about the PlayStation 4
yeah,
Pro.
but I'm saying, like, down the line
Well, you need the hardware. Is
Yeah,
what
of
I'm
course.
saying. You need the
like,
hardware to run 9 screens, full 1080p,
60 frames.
60 frames a
All
second.
that crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the hardware you need in order to get 9 screens running at the same time at full 1080p, showing different images that are simulated inside of a box that's on your countertop. Pretty difficult. I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off in the next console generation. Unless, like, the console itself costs $1,000.
So do you think it's worth the risk?
Again, like, I think the takeaway is that for a gamer like you, who's very, very much into the narrative and the one-on-one experience that you get from really delving into the characters and delving into the stories, I think the gamer that's like you is going to genuinely gain more from the VR experience than a gamer like me. For me, it might just come off as gimmicky. Like, this is the same. I could have played this fucking game with the controller and no headset on. You know, for me, I feel like that's what the takeaway is going to be when I put on the headset. I feel like, well, yeah, it's interesting and it's great, you know, like, but my head weighs 10 pounds more and my ears are hurting from the sounds, and, you know, like, I feel like I'd be more of like,
Yeah.
Give me a good game. Give me a fucking astounding...
Give me that killer app.
Yeah, an astounding game that's just going to revolutionize the way that I feel about video games. You know, the way that I feel about the current state of video games, I should say.
So it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody's going to get a PlayStation VR, it's going to be me. I feel like that's a strong guess.
I mean, I want to get it either way because...
It will probably be like our Vita.
Yeah,
Do you get a price cut? No, let's just go buy it. All right, let's go buy it. And that's the 800. 400 from me, 400 from you.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to check out the comments below if you want to add any information to this conversation. If you have any thoughts on whether or not the PlayStation VR is right for you, Check us out on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. All the things are right like below this area right here. I think it's like here and below. I believe it's here to like here. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure.
I love your pantomiming.
Yeah, so do I. But I'm not entirely sure. If it's in that area, it might be lower.
Remember also, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Share us with your friends. Helps out dramatically. Like the video. All that fun jazz.
And as always, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be much louder next week, I promise.
As always, ladies and gentlemen,
Maybe.
Pete will be much louder next week.
It's very late. As always.
Game on.
Game on. You know what I love? I can still make you laugh after all this shit.